Okay, so I haven't posted a video in a while. It's been over 2 months since I last posted a video, I think. I started drawing again. I'm actually a studio art major, and for some reason I don't actually make art. Or at least I don't do anything beyond the school projects that were assigned to me. I think for a long time I was not as motivated to continue to do my own drawings just because I felt distracted. I also felt bored of what I was making. I guess the things that distracted me were other kinds of arts that I could possibly make. I can get into making things that other people were making. Maybe even try to get into an anime style kind of drawing. I never really got good at that at all. I'm pretty sure I could pick it up if I put more time into it. It's interesting to me, but it's also not interesting enough for me to want to do more in that area. I don't know if that makes sense. Like for now, I'm good at one thing, and it's making abstract doodles. So yeah, I have this whole video. The video itself is just me drawing, but you don't actually see the drawing until the end. So hopefully you guys make it to the end of the video and you can see what I drew. The whole recording of the video was about 45 minutes long. So I spent about 40 to 45 minutes just drawing at the park, sitting on the grass. It was actually really nice. It was very peaceful. I got to hear the sounds of birds chirping outside, and the sound of people walking by, maybe even talking with each other as they walked on the sidewalk. Not even the sidewalk, what's that even called? The walkway? Yeah, the walkway, of course. As I was drawing, I wasn't really thinking of anything specifically of what I wanted to draw. I kind of was just taking in my environment and zoning out in my own drawing. I was initially inspired to do abstract drawings after I watched someone else do it, and this someone else was Peter Draws. I feel like he's got a huge impact on he's probably the reason why I even became an art major. Because I remember in 7th grade, I wasn't bad at drawing at all. Actually, one of my projects in 7th grade managed to make it to the office, right? So it got hung up at the office, and I actually made one of my teachers very happy. This teacher, she was teaching how to draw and everything, and how to shade, and also a little bit of what colors you can use in order to make shadows. The most obvious one was to use black to shade your drawings, but something else that she said to do was to make the shadows purple instead of black. You can make it blue or purple. I think for everyone else, they wanted to keep it simple, or they just weren't listening. But everyone else was using black to shade their drawings and their colored drawings. And I was doing this still life of a vase with flowers and fruits, and I decided to use purple instead. I don't even know if it was the best choice. It probably was the best choice, actually, because there was no black and white in my drawing. Because the drawing that I was making was fully color pencil. Everything was colored. The fact that I chose to use purple instead of black probably became a really smart, strategic choice of mine that I made subliminally. Am I using that word right? Subconsciously, that's the word I wanted to use. Yeah, so subconsciously, that was what probably led to me wanting to use purple instead of black. But when my teacher saw that I was using purple, she actually showed it to the entire classroom, and I was like, oh my, look guys, I told you, you can use purple instead of black. It kind of made me happy to see, oh, I listened to the teacher and I got rewarded for it. So, and I made her happy, and she showed it to the class. But at the same time, I thought art was kind of boring just because you're drawing things or you're painting things that already exist in real life. And so none of that really interested me until I found Peter Draws. If you look him up on YouTube, he makes these crazy abstract doodles. And during school, I didn't really draw too much abstract doodles. I used to do it when I first started drawing these doodles. It was in high school. I started late freshman year of high school. I spent most of the summer of freshman year, after freshman year, to make doodles, and I tried to do it every day. I set a timer, like an hour timer. Just draw as much as I can until the timer rang. And then I would just stop and look at what I made. After that summer, I didn't really use the timer anymore, and I also stopped using pencil because I know Peter Draws, he doesn't use pencil. So I wanted to practice using pen because I didn't want to be stuck. I didn't want to feel like erasing anything. If I made a mistake, I could keep it and try to work with it. And I think that's part of the reason why I improved so much in my doodling, in my ability to draw these abstract doodles, because I was not afraid to make mistakes. Yeah, and now I've graduated college, so it's been that many years since I started drawing. And honestly, the progress is pretty slow. Ever since I got to where I felt comfortable in drawing, I didn't make too much progress in making something different. I got stuck. Maybe this is artist block or something. But yeah, I got stuck and I didn't feel motivated to draw as much. I didn't draw every single day as like I used to in high school. But now that I'm getting back into it, I'm realizing actually there is still more for me to make progress on in order to make my doodles look different from the last doodle I made. I don't know how long I've been drawing for. Actually, the timer says 45 minutes. Okay, it's been 45 minutes. So I think I'm done drawing for today. So